Interesting times for football in Nigeria. For the Super Eagles managerial position, it is now vacant. And for eggheads of football in Nigeria, they will turn their attention. And indeed, it is the searchlight for a new manager to replace Jose Peseiro, the Portuguese manager, who has just decided to indeed leave as the coach of the Super Eagles. I'm not alone in the studio. I've got Dr. George with me, one man who loves football passionately. Dr. George, it's nice to have you on the program.
It's great to be here with you.
Any surprises? Peseiro?
Absolutely no surprises. His contract ran out. And I think that the unclarity, if I'll put it that way, has just been, will he be given a new contract? Will he not be given a new contract? His contract has expired, and there's been no talks about the renewal right now. And clearly, based on the letters of...
Okay, certainly, we will be getting back to you at this stage, but then let's get across to a board member of the Nigeria Football Federation, SN, who joins us from the federal capital, Abuja. Apart from being a board member of the Nigeria Football Federation, is also the chairman FC1 Rockets. It's nice to have you on the program Sports Desk.
Yeah, the pleasure is mine. I'm joining from Uyo, not Abuja.
All right, let's indeed kickstart with the Super Eagles. And after days of uncertainty as far as the managerial position of the Super Eagles is concerned, the coast is now clear. The Nigerian Football Federation have decided against extending the contract of Jose Peseiro, and he has left the position as the Super Eagles manager. What is your take on Peseiro's tenure as coach of the Super Eagles?
Yeah, I would say that he's tried his best. Why am I saying so? If we were to have a child in a class of 54, and the child comes second, and so you give him a pat on the back and then give him a handshake. But I have decided this, the contract Peseiro signed with the NFF was for him to reach the semi-finals. But he exceeded this and was in the finals. So he tried his best. Kudos to him. We part with a handshake.
All right. Looking forward now, obviously the searchlights will be on from the Nigeria Football Federation, and questions have been asked by Nigerians. Will it be a foreign coach? Will it be a local coach that will lead the Super Eagles going forward? As a board member and someone who is also into football, you double as the chairman FC1 Rockets. If you had to advise, where do you think the NFF you should begin from at this stage, a local coach or a foreign coach?
You're asking for a personal opinion. I will tell you because the technical committee has not come up with their positions yet. And so as a board, I'm not taking a position on that. But if you ask me for a personal opinion, Nigerians are so much in love with football. If you check the crime indices when there's a football match, you see that it is at the lowest 0, which it translates that Nigerians are so madly in love with soccer, football in particular. And so the color doesn't matter. I don't believe the color matters. One who can give us joy, one who can develop our league by looking inwards and developing a local league by inviting and having faith in home-based players, one who can give us results. That is the person I will go for.
And the NFF, I'm sure, will also be considering what Nigerians will say is the biggest soccer fiesta in the world, the 2026 FIFA World Cup, where we will get to see 3 countries, Canada, the United States, and Mexico, host the FIFA World Cup competition. And I'm sure it will be a dream for Super Eagles fans to see the green and white flag hoisted in these 3 countries as far as the World Cup is concerned. And will you say the World Cup qualification is not negotiable at this stage for the incoming coach?
Definitely, for us not to be part of the 2026 World Cup means that we failed, and so it is a must that we have to be there. Nigerians still don't take a no for an answer. And so any coach that must come in, he has to deliver. We have to be at the World Cup. We have no excuses not to be there.
Well, will you say you are satisfied with Jose Peseiro's involvement with football development back home in Nigeria, if you consider the Nigeria Professional Football League?
Like I said earlier on, we need a coach that would believe in the league. If you check in the 1990 squad, West Ham took to all jazz, predominantly home base. They came back with silver. In 1994, in Tunisia, we also had home base players involved. In 2023, 2013, when Peseiro was there, we had about 6 or 7 home base players. This is the kind of squad we want to see even at the World Cup. The coach who must go will come in, will have to believe in the system, in our league system. Peseiro, well, maybe he felt the outfield players weren't good enough, but I believe that we have outfield players who can challenge the professional players. Also, I've had just a goalkeeper in the squad wasn't good enough for me. Maybe he didn't believe, he didn't have the time. Don't forget that he wasn't domiciled here predominantly. He used to come, shuttle, come and go. But we have to have a coach that will have spend most of his time watching a league here. That is what we need. We need a coach that will be spending most of the time watching a league, because there is no way you could say that from the NLO, NNL, and the MPFL we will not have players who can challenge. I don't think so.
Well, George, I'm sure you would have 1 or 2 questions at this point for the board member of the Nigeria Football Federation, as we all look forward to who the next coach of the Super Eagles will be.
Oh, yes, definitely. I would want to know, it's important to know what direction would football be taking, especially as we've rounded off this phase of international, will I say, competition or African competition. What direction will football be taking in terms of players, in terms of grassroots development? Are we going back to the drawing board? Is there a drawing board to go back to, or are we building and consolidating on the things that we have to do, really?
Well, if you can get us, Dr. Inse, who is asking what direction do you think the incoming coach will be going? Are we building on what Jose Peseiro has laid down, or we should expect something different, especially if we consider the fact that the AFCON 2025 is around the corner, and we just talked about the 2026 FIFA World Cup.
Yes, like I said, Nigeria does not take a no for an answer. The coach that will come in must consolidate. Yes, at the AFCON we were number 2, and so we should aim to win the trophy next year. But most importantly, I will talk about the Peseiro-led government is passionate about grassroots development. That is why you have the Under 17 NPF League for the young guys. The belief is that we catch them young and build on them for tomorrow, because it is important to groom them for succession. There is need for succession because football is about age. Sooner or later, this group of guys, you have some of them in their 30s, getting to their 30s. They won't be okay. They will not be. They will have the strength to push further, and so that is what we're trying to do. Develop the youth system, consolidate on the gains that the league is already having now. Most importantly, the league is doing well. That's why you can have every weekend teams go away and pick points from away from home. It never used to be so. Never used to be so. So we bent on making sure the referees get it right, making sure that the management gets it right, and making sure that even when the coach that we employ, I think it was an aberration to give a coach a semi-final target. What about with what's wrong with winning the trophy?
Interesting. And quickly, before we let you go, you are the chairman FC1 Rocket. How will you describe development of football and grassroots football in Nigeria at the moment? Are we investing enough as far as talent is concerned in the country?
We're not doing enough. We're not doing enough, especially the corporate organizations. They're not doing enough. The barely few people that do not operate from banks, operate with banks. And how much are the banks putting in? They keep on taking our monies, do withdrawals, they charge you. And what are they applying back into the corporate social responsibility? The IOCs, what are they doing? They can take a cue from what Angolans are doing. What is MTN doing? What is Glo doing? What is Airtel doing? What is Mobil doing? What is Shell doing? What are these companies doing? What is Dangote doing for football? These are my problems. The private sectors have to be involved. Government can do it alone. They need to be involved. In this aspect, they are not doing enough. Who is sponsoring the league? What is the league title? How much is involved? For instance, Big Milk, how much are you doing? You give us 30 million naira for what? Where can it take us to? And so we need to drive this, government need to drive this to corporate investors to be involved in sport development. It takes away crime.
But if
you say young people from the street.
If you say what,
for me,
okay,
for me, they're not doing enough. But I tell you, we try as a private investor, we try our best to make sure that we give these young people hope. We give them a platform to become whatever they've got at this destined for them to become in life.
But there are also worries about what the return will be for those who want to invest heavily, in football. I know of the CAF president, he owns a football club in South Africa, one of the richest men in Africa, no doubt. We also indeed know that everyone wants to be confident that there is something in return for them. How lucrative is also, investments in football in this part of the world? Isn't that a worry?
Definitely is a worry. Definitely is a worry. You can imagine carrying this burden alone. It's worrisome. But then we're not giving up hope, because we know that there is a light at the end of the tunnel. So we think we'll get it right sometime. We'll get it right here. But because we're not getting immediately right, does not mean that it's not working. It doesn't mean that we must strain the towel. We have absolutely believed in Nigeria, and we believe in what we're doing.
I must say a very big thank you, Mr. Inse, for finding out time to talk to us on the program Sports Desk, given on very short notice. And I want to wish you the very best, also with FC World Rockets and football in general in the country. I must say a very big thank you for talking to us on the program Sports Desk.
Thank you. The pleasure is mine, always.
That was NFF board member and also chairman FC World Rockets talking to us.